Hello, and welcome to Have At Us, reviews for your pleasure. I'm Nietzsche.
And I'm Joshua.
This is episode 32, As You Wish. And today, we are going to discuss our honest thoughts, feelings, opinions, probably my hot takes, but maybe Josh has some hot takes to offer you as well. I'm doubtful, though, and all we really want in return from you is for you to have at us. Because it just, it's a joyful experience to have that level of banter. But today, we're talking about Princess Bride. The Princess Bride, I guess, to be more specific. And this is the movie. This is not the book. And this is your spoiler warning right here. If you haven't seen this film, I had never seen this film until yesterday. So maybe you were like me. But we're going to discuss this whole not great film.
Not great.
Yeah, no, it's not good by any stretch of the imagination. I was thinking today, I was like, if I made this movie a person, it would be the person who thinks that they're cool and, clever, funny, and everybody else doesn't believe that they are because they're not. But nobody really has the heart to tell them, you suck. Nobody really enjoys your company type thing. That's what this movie would be if it was a person.
Wow, that is quite the rousing criticism. I'm really feeling that.
You're feeling that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh, you don't sound like you're feeling that.
I don't feel anything, really, but I'm pretending.
Your pretending is pretty poor over here.
Well, I disagree. I think this movie's pretty good. I like it a lot. Now, I've seen this movie many times. This is probably the 20th time in my life.
Really?
Oh, I watched this a lot when I was younger.
Was this your punishment when you did something wrong, or
Nah, I've always liked the movie. There's a lot of good things about it.
Let's hear a good thing.
I really like the fantasy-esque appeal. You can't really go out and call it too much of a fantasy in that it's set in the real world. It's not really magic or anything, but it feels very classic fantasy, very adventure-esque. The characters are fun and likable. Even the antagonists are silly and kind of fun to see. All around, I just think it's a pretty good cast of characters.
This cast of characters is not likable. Not one of them can I think, man, I like this guy, this girl. They're all just kind of crap. I feel like it's so mediocre at best.
That's outrageous.
I don't think it's outrageous. I think that people just have an outrageously inflated opinion about this film. People talk about this film, frequently. I see, people will say something about it, or, it's so great. And this is, lauded as one of, the best films ever. And I don't get it. In the slightest.
It's funny. It's personable.
Where is it funny? When was I supposed to laugh?
Okay, a moment that people will find funny is the impressive clergyman. Assuming you know who that is.
Yeah, because we watched the little title sequence thing at the end. Marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it. I thought, I'm an adult. I am better than that.
Yeah, but it's pretty funny.
What is funny about it? It's just someone being an idiot.
It's funny because it's unexpected, and the scene's all serious, and then the guy opens his mouth, and he just sounds like an intellectual.
He does not sound like an intellectual. In the slightest. Oh, no. He looked stupid, and I was like, you're gonna have a stupid voice. If your goal was to make me think, wow, this scene's gonna suck because this guy looks really weird and stupid, you nailed it. Absolutely nailed that. But other than that, that scene is so bad.
You're wrong.
I'm a righteous man, which means my opinion is correct. Any other funny scenes you wanna bring up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I would say when you get your bad boy trio out there, it's a lot of funny scenes with them.
Is there?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm struggling real hard to think of anything that could possibly be funny.
Well, they're climbing the cliffs of insanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good name. They get to the top, cut the rope, he's hanging there on the cliff, and they leave Inigo to combat him should he make it to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Their interaction is hilarious. It's great.
How is that funny? It's just some guy stranded on a face of a rock and another guy mocking him, but he, has too much pride and honor in himself to kill this guy. That scene made zero sense for me because I didn't understand why, Sicilian kid, I don't remember his name.
Vicini.
Vicini, there you go, didn't just pick up a rock and throw it at him and make him fall.
Because he's not as intelligent as he believes himself to be.
That's your justification for that.
Yeah.
It's not even intelligence. It's just like he's just angry that someone has followed him.
It's inconceivable.
Oh my gosh. We're already starting, huh?
But their interaction, their back and forth there, is great. He helps him up. They're all polite to each other. Oh, I'm going to tell you my life story. Oh, it's just same. We're going to have to kill each other. It's a funny interaction. You glean a lot of their character in that interaction. And then you get a pretty cool fight. It's fun to watch. I don't know how realistic it is. I'm not really a fencing expert over here. But it's certainly fun. Pretty long too. But it's fun. You get through that. More good interactions all throughout. And then you go to the next, trial. And it's still fun.
I will give you, the fight sequences are fine. Like, they're not bad. They seem well done. But, like, them acting all weirdly polite to each other just sounds like some weird sense of honor that you think you need to have.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it. It's just boring.
That's not boring.
It's definitely boring. Like, why do I care that you have this weird, convoluted sense of honor? Win at all costs.
But they're better than that.
Are they better than that?
Well, one of them.
Apparently this Dread Pirate Roberts kid has killed many a people.
So he claims. He's not above killing somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But he likes Inigo, and he's like, I'm not going to kill him. He's a good guy. I respect him.
Great. They have some mutual respect for plot convenience. Woo!
I mean, the whole plot is plot convenience, really.
I mean,
they make jokes about it.
The plot is so stupid.
I really like the way it's a book within the movie. I like the interaction between the grandfather and the grandson and how that interjects throughout the movie. I think that's really cool.
I hate that. That, at the start, I was like, okay, this isn't bad. Like, I knew that's how it was done. But then, this kid just gets so engaged, I'm just like, I don't care. This is so boring.
Did you want him to hate it?
I kind of wanted someone to be on my side, yeah. He was kind of on my side for a little bit, and then he betrayed me, like a foolish little kid that he was.
I think their interactions between them are really funny. I think the grandson's dialogue feels actually pretty authentic and realistic. Like, yeah, I believe this is a kid. He would definitely say things like this. And his grandfather really plays with that a lot. He hams it up a little bit, gets him invested. It's fun. It's a fun interaction.
Nope. Not at all. The best interactions when his mother's in the room and he's like, I don't want him to come here because, he's going to pinch my cheeks. And then he comes in and he pinches his cheek.
He gives a good look there. Like, see,
yeah,
I told you.
That was the best interaction maybe in the whole film. I don't know that I can think of a better scene in the rest of the entire film. Like, it shot off real early and then it said, tanking this hardcore. Just nosedive.
That's insane.
I just wasn't invested in any of it. The beginning just being so bare bones stupid nonsense about Buttercup and Wesley was just so stupid. And it knows it's stupid. That's the worst part.
That's what makes it work.
No. Lies. It knows it's bad. And so it magically somehow thinks that knowing that and showing that makes it good? How does that even work? That makes no logical sense.
It means that they can do what they want, and they don't have to try and make it more or less than it is. And they can really just play into what it wants to be. And it allows these characters to be silly. It allows the acting to be a little silly. And all the interactions to be that way. If you take away the cheese, then the movie would fall apart.
There'd be no movie left. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's meant to be a comedy, right? Is
it? Because I feel like the general consensus is that this movie can be anything you want it to be, basically.
Sure, but I mean, it is a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's more than one genre of film, but it's one of them. It knows its strengths and plays directly into those strengths.
Those strengths are not strengths, though. There's nothing redeemable here. I'm not convinced. I feel like people, like one guy liked this, and they were just the adamant person. They were like, man, this is great. And then they just convinced other people with their full-on confidence. And so other people feel like they have to like this. That's what the problem is.
No.
Yeah, it is.
This is a pretty beloved film.
I'm not understanding it, right? I just don't get it. I watched it, and I didn't think I was gonna, hate this film. That's basically where we're at. I feel like I wasted my time watching such a piss-poor production.
Alright, well, what's the worst part?
The worst part is that there's not really a story. It's so bare bones and basic and stupid. It never wants to really go anywhere. It's very flat in the sense that they've picked their weird mocking tone that everybody had to adopt and use at all times. There's no fluctuation from that, which is fine for consistency's sake, but I wasn't engaged and it just added to how much I really didn't like it. I guess, the albino kid gets to have a different voice.
Yeah, he's a weirdo. Those albinos, man.
Because I think his name is literally the albino.
Yeah, it's the albino.
And I was like, oh my gosh. That didn't help it either. When we watched the little credit thing, I was like, can we stop?
You're crazy.
No, I am not crazy. I am in the right. There's nothing about this that works for me. Humperdinck magically decides that Buttercup woman needs to be his wife for some reason that I didn't really understand. Like how she got chosen or any of that.
She's attractive.
Is she attractive though? I feel like even by standard ideas of attractiveness, she is no better than average.
I don't know that people agree with that, but, beauty in the eye of the beholder and all that.
That's fair. I just didn't look at this woman and think, wow, this woman's attractive to me. I also didn't look at this woman and think, wow, I guess I could see where, people think she's attractive.
You just thought, wow, she's ugly? That's what you thought?
I just thought, oh, look, it's just some woman who's filling a role in this movie.
Just some witch that they cast?
Maybe she was a witch. I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't getting that aspect of it. It's just done off screen, and I'm so confused, and, you knew Wesley had to be alive, so there's no, oh, wow, this guy following you. Guess who that has to be? Wesley.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really supposed to be surprising.
I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's not quite stupid humor, but it's basically stupid humor.
It's meant to be fun.
When was I supposed to start having fun?
Around the eels.
The eels.
Yeah, that's when. That's when they were like, this is the moment that people will have fun.
That's where it starts.
Yep.
You take the first step into funness.
Yep.
Oh, the eels was really stupid. Basically, I could say anything negative about any scene, basically, at this point.
Yeah, you probably could.
But I just, she gets randomly kidnapped, but this guy was gonna, kill her anyway. Oh my gosh. What is good about that?
The killing? I mean, killing's fun.
I mean, if he actually, would have followed through with something maybe, but I didn't really understand why he needed to be married to this girl to then kill her. What was the point? He had some weird sick fantasy or
He wanted to start a war.
Yeah, why did he need to be married
because
to her?
It's more dramatic if your newlywed wife is killed on the wedding night. It's more significant than my bride-to-be is killed.
Same woman, not much changes. Her title changes. So I don't really understand how that's any more or less significant.
Maybe he was just trying to have sex with her first, and he needed the wedding excuse.
Maybe that's what it was. I'd take that. That'd be fine. But that's not what happened there.
Now Vizzini, though. You like that guy?
Which one?
Vizzini.
I don't even remember who that is. I'm not gonna
He's the bald man.
The bald man. He's
the intelligent man.
Oh, Vicini.
Yeah.
I was hearing a Z sound. Anyway, he's a bad guy to be a bad guy. And he has emotionally and, circumstantially manipulated these two people. Okay? He gets screwed over. Like you knew was gonna happen.
He's one of the few people who actually dies.
Great. Don't really care? Why am I supposed to care about it?
Because he dies because he could never have been an ally. He was actually, bad. So he killed that guy off. As you should. Kill bad people. obviously. And then we only had to kill like one other person in this film that I can recall.
I guess. I mean, I only think of one other person dying, but I wasn't engaged, so we could have killed some other people and I wouldn't have known. I don't know. But you get, he's over there and he serves his purpose. And he fails to completely manipulate Andre the Giant, because that's his actual name. Fezzik is a bad name.
Yeah, they should have just kept his real name.
Yep, Andre.
Do you know how big that guy is?
I'm pretty sure he was like 7.5 or something feet tall, but he was really big. Like, he was a big man.
7'4" and 520 pounds.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a very big man. He also died when he was like 30-something, right?
Yeah, he wasn't super old, but that's hardly surprising.
That's pretty common in people with like actual gigantism.
I mean, this guy was a colossal dude. I would be scared to fight a man like that. They're like, I don't think I'm winning.
I mean, Wesley almost lost. He could have lost. Andre could have just picked him up and just crushed his skull.
Well, he could have just hit him in the head with the rock in the first place.
Yeah, but he could have let him run at him, grabbed his skull, and done it, and that would have been just as, fair, right? But
he played around too much.
He didn't want to, do the rock thing. And I'm like, okay, great, you're an honorable guy. How exciting. We just did this not, 2 minutes ago. I don't care.
Do you have a hard time understanding Fezzik?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have a hard time understanding Fezzik. I had a hard time understanding some things that were said at random times, because I just feel like it was not done in the highest quality. I really can't understand.
The music's pretty fun.
The best thing I can say about the music is that sometimes when they match it to the actual action that's happening, it works.
Mm-hmm. Like in breaking down the door, Inigo.
That is not one of those moments.
That's a good moment.
It's a fine moment, I guess. I don't hate it.
It's another one of those funny moments.
I can kind of understand what someone would maybe find funny about that, but not really. Like, that good old Andre is going to come save the day, and he's going to make it look effortless.
Yeah, that's why he was asking for him to come over, because he would be able to do it effortlessly.
Like, it's just predictable, though, right? I thought that maybe in your grand, witty, fun endeavor, you might just pull something out of left field, and it'd be interesting, but you didn't. You did nothing.
No, but it's all about the companionship.
It's all about so... Earlier, it was about how funny this film was. Now, it's about the companionship.
Okay, well, there's more than one theme, but companionship is part of the drive, right? It's about true love, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, like a brothers in arms kind of thing. You got the companionship, friendship, overcoming odds. Like, all that is, part of the theme there. It'd be weird if you just did something crazy. It's better to have the interplay.
I guess. I don't really see that, but I'll move on. I guess the one moment where they actually do something that's kind of like, oh, I didn't expect you to do that, is where they come in and storm the castle. And they're over there with Andre in the big cloak saying he's about to take some people out.
Yeah.
And just making it pretty well done there. I was like, okay, that's fine. It's a little weird that you light the cloak on fire. Like, Andre is a giant, but he is not unhuman?
Well, they called it I think they call it actually a Holocaust coat.
Yeah, they do.
So I think the idea is that it's able to withstand fire pretty well.
I don't know really what that means, but the internal temperature inside of the cloak would be so drastic.
Nah.
That's my point. My point is not that I believe that he is on fire, and that's what would cause the problem. It's that the internal temperature inside the coat would be raised so fast that I don't understand how he would live through that.
He can tough it out.
Okay, apparently he's the coolest guy ever, I guess. But that's, really just me nitpicking the scene. I didn't hate that scene. I was like, okay, that's mildly interesting and innovative. It's less good the fact that Wesley's just over there basically literal dead weight.
But that's funny.
Is it funny?
Yeah.
What's funny about it?
That he's dead weight. And he's over here giving orders. Their interactions with him being dead weight are really funny with him turning the head and everything. And then like, oh, we'll let you see. And then they're all like trying to get him up and give him a few and everything. It's that exaggerated motion. It's funny.
Okay. I mean, I was pretty okay with the like, wearing this bad straight and you think I should be, happy about or a little head jiggle or whatever.
Yeah.
That was decent. I don't know that I would call it funny, but I can at least understand what is funny about that. It's about as good as it gets, though. That might be the highest praise that the actual Princess Bride part of the film is going to get.
Wow.
So this film is about being funny, true love, and companionship. Any other things you want to add to that? Adventure. Like the grand adventure, of chasing down some bad people. And then he rescues his girl after being a jerk to her. And then he decides, to go through the fire swamp.
Yeah, who doesn't want to go through a fire swamp?
Now, when was this movie made again?
It came out in 87. I think filming was in 86.
Oh, I still feel like at that time frame they could have done a better job with their weird rat things. Like, I don't know if they're purposely supposed to look that god-awful for the sake of the film because it was funny or whatever, but it was bad. I saw it and I went, oh my gosh, I didn't think this was going to get worse, but it looks like it's about to.
I have no idea. It didn't bother me when I was younger. I see it now and I go, yeah, that's quite dated, but I don't think it's that bad.
Oh, I was not having it.
I've seen way worse.
I've seen worse. I've seen better. I don't know. It might just be a byproduct of its time. I'm willing to forgive that as a byproduct of its time. But there's so many other problems that it doesn't really matter. Her whole jaunt through the forest is just like, okay.
The fire swamp?
Yeah, the forest. It's basically just a forest.
Yeah, it basically is a forest.
There's not a swamp nature to it, really at all.
Well, they just didn't go to that part.
They missed the whole swamp part of the fire swamp.
Yeah, they were like, nah, not today. We're going to go this way.
So then they can go get captured.
Pathetic. Getting captured already.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, the film's pretty quickly paced.
It moves through its points, does its thing.
I think that's a benefit for the movie.
It means that I feel less angry that we're stuck on bad point for a while. But it's still just like, where are we going from this bad point to another bad point? Don't worry. Because then you get Wesley thrown down into the pit of despair. And I was just like, what is happening? They said pit of despair, and I was like, I don't even care. Can we not? Can we just not?
I love the names.
It's the name in this film clearly communicates this is going to be ridiculous and stupid. And then it was.
I like it because, as I was saying earlier with the classic fantasy feel, that's definitely something you'd see in fantasy, right? Some of the older stuff. I don't know about too much contemporary things, but you look at really classic fantasy and some of the naming conventions, right? Mount Doom or something. It's kind of funny.
I get it. I don't think naming is always a great deal in things like this. But that was purposefully bad.
It's purposely... It to me, it's like a... how do you pronounce it? A homage?
A homage?
Homage. To fantasy.
Is that how you feel about most of these things in this film?
Some of it, yeah.
Oh, that's not how I feel about any of it.
I think part of it's supposed to probably be a little satirical.
It feels like it wanted to be satirical sometimes, but it really never landed that to me. I really did not get it. This film was definitely not made for me.
No. I wonder if you'd like the book.
I might like the book, but I don't know if the book is the same type of deal as this, or if this is like, well, this book was way too boring to really make work, so we did this.
The book definitely has some presentational differences. I've only read like half of it. I need to actually finish it one of these days. I've read like half of it, and there's definitely some pretty big differences. Now, the author, William Goldman, of the book, also did the screenplay adaptation for the movie, which I think is pretty cool. I like that. I like it when authors are able to adapt their work themselves. It makes it feel like the understanding there is there, and they know what can we cut, what is essential to the story, what is going to make it to the screen. I feel like their judgment is oftentimes going to be pretty good for preserving the sanctity of the story, but that doesn't necessarily always work out.
Like, it's cool that he was willing to do that, and that's fine, but he could have done better. A lot better. But I feel like he just said, the common dregs over here have to find this funny, so I will do my thing and make it less good.
You know what a good name is, Nietzsche?
Let's hear it.
Humperdinck. What a good name. I'm going to name my kid that.
I hope you do. In all sincerity, hope you name your child Humperdinck.
What are you doing over there, little Humperdinck?
You're not even trying at that point. You are just setting your child up for misery in there. Basically from, like, the first moment into school all the way through.
You just have to embrace it.
Like, the rest of their life is screwed up from, like, basically entering school. Even embracing that gets old. I can tell you right now. That gets so old. Every time you gotta move jobs.
What nickname do you give that kid? Hump?
There's not a good one. Dink is probably the best.
I
Dink
don't.
sounds a little too close to Dick.
Yeah.
But that's fine. People have named their son Dick.
Well, it's generally Richard.
Yeah, but still. People go by Dick, and that's fine.
I suppose. But that's a good name. I like it.
Alright. Well, you go find the love of your life, and you start pumping out some children. Well, she'll start pumping out some children. You just gotta, pump in, and then you're good. And you name that child Humperdinck. Man or a woman, first child, Humperdinck.
Little girl named Humperdinck. Oh, man.
That's getting worse.
It wouldn't be good.
Oh, you start us on some bad path. We gotta find a new path. A good path.
What do you think of the name Buttercup, then?
That's worse.
That's
somehow.
A worse name?
It's somehow worse. Humperdinck is self-aware.
Yeah.
Right? Humperdinck is like, this is a bad name. Buttercup, I feel like, isn't supposed to be bad. She's supposed to be generic. Like, generic princess bride girl. Great, I guess.
I don't think I've ever seen the name anywhere else.
It's like a pet name type term. Right? Like between couples, pet name type
Powerpuff
thing.
Girls.
Oh, yeah.
That's where.
Isn't she the worst one, too? She's the green one?
Yeah, I think so.
Because Bubbles is blue.
Right.
And Blossom is red.
Yeah, that's right.
So Buttercup has to be the green one. And who's the worst one?
I don't know if she's the worst. It's been way too long.
I mean, isn't that live action film supposed to come out?
That's one we should watch. Oh my god.
Maybe. You people let us know. We should watch the live action Powderpuff Girls. Anyway, Buttercup as a name is fine. It's not good. It kind of grates on me, though, and makes it worse than Humperdinck somehow. I really didn't like that. But I didn't like anything, really.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I was just so done with this movie. Like, we said, like, their weird romance thing set up, and I was like, I don't want to... Wow, this film is, like, 2 minutes in, and I already don't want to be here.
True love. That's where it's self-aware, right? It knows what it is.
It's self-aware of how bad it is. I feel like, it's the quality, in some sense, of, like, The Room, except The Room is not self-aware. The Room is just god-awful because I don't even understand the complexity of how bad that went. But that's irrelevant. It feels a little bit like that to me. Like, except that this is self-aware, which somehow makes it worse.
That's not even true. That's not even fathomable.
You know what's not fathomable? You know what's unfathomable? How great people think this film is. That's what's unfathomable.
Comparing this to The Room? Oh my god.
So it feels a little bit like that.
Yeah, I don't... No, it's not even in the same universe.
It is. They could be neighboring planets.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
No. Now, there's a really famous line in this movie.
Let's hear it.
You know what the line is, right?
I feel like there's a lot of lines that people want to, put out there. So let's hear the one you're thinking of.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
So stupid. I knew that line before I watched this film.
That's not surprising.
And I was like, this isn't funny. And then he uses it 80 times at the end, it feels like. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about your sad backstory. It's just kind of stupid. What's good about it?
It's like a contrasting seriousness with the film. It's something he takes very seriously. Whenever he says it, he sounds very serious. And His delivery is always on point with it. And his actual final confrontation is really good. It's great. It feels really heated.
It feels like a confrontation I knew was coming that I just wanted to happen because that meant basically the end of the film. That's what it feels like.
It's a really famous line. I have to imagine there's memes about this line somewhere.
Oh, I've seen memes about this.
But I don't know that I've seen any.
I've seen memes about it. I've seen people with the shirt on, like as like a your name tag thing at like conventions or like meetings or stuff, support group things, and it says "Hello, my name is" on it, and then you write your name in there. But it then has that rest of that line in there. Oh, that's not good. I think less of those people.
No.
Now I will think exceptionally lower of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them that they suck.
I might have to be like the people when I'm like biking along who yell out of their car window at you.
Yeah, I never understood why people do that.
That's what I'm gonna have to like scream at them next time I see them and tell them how terrible they are.
Tell them
for having such poor clothing taste, which represents such a poor film.
Tell them when you see this shirt that you killed their father. And see what they do.
Well, I need to have some level of sucker punch, to this, since he got to do that in the film. So I need a one-up chance here.
Yeah, just run up to him and punch him.
And then run away.
Yeah, it's fine.
I hope this person is not very fit, because I feel like I could probably outrun them at that point.
I mean, you're like a fucking speed demon.
I don't know that my sprinting shape is that great anymore, but...
You're faster than me.
What is that saying?
Saying that you're faster than me. It's just a factual statement.
I mean, I feel like in most physical, cases, I will probably do better than you. Anyway, we have gone on quite the level of tangent. Is there a character we haven't talked about?
That needs to be talked about?
Yeah.
The Miracle Man.
Oh, the Miracle Man.
Miracle Max.
Miracle Max and Valerie, his wife.
Yeah. What do you think about them?
I think that they look fine. I like that they look old and decrepit and...
Yeah.
Like the wind is gonna, blow too strongly and they will turn to dust and blow away.
They do look like it.
And that's fine. I feel like that was an intentional choice and it works. But the weirdness of that whole, oh, he's almost dead, blah, 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 let me get this billow, and what is happening?
Yeah, there's more humor.
How is that funny?
It's just, it's funny. It's not something that I think is, wow, I'm laughing out loud, but I'm always smiling through it, right? It's funny. It's fun. Again.
I don't understand. I feel like there's some innate level of this is just generally funny to the populace. And I just am not that. I just don't get it. And I just don't know that I am ever gonna get it.
No, you won't. You're incapable.
Running me down just because I'm running down this bad film.
Look, the problem is they forgot to put that in your programming.
Is that what happened here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. But they're fine. I mean, you like Max and Valerie in there?
I think they're funny. I like their interactions. He's just looking for money. And I respect that. Don't work for free. Make your money.
I don't work for free.
And then, noble cause, not good enough. But, we're gonna humiliate this guy I don't like. And he still asks for the money, too. It's funny. I like it.
Okay, I guess.
But in general, I mean, like I said, I think the cast is all pretty good. They all work really well together. They play off each other really well. In general, I'm having a good time basically throughout the entire movie.
Are there any scenes you wanna call out that are great?
That are great?
Yeah, that we didn't go through. Good scenes. Any scenes you want to talk about? It doesn't have to be great. Sorry, that was a poor phrase. Are there any scenes you wish to talk about? Because there are no good or great scenes.
I think the weirdest scene is the torture device.
Mm-hmm.
And the functionality of that is where it seems to cross into the fantasy. This doesn't really make any sense. This is where we've kind of crossed the border. It's a little weird. I'm not really sure how it works exactly. It's just suction.
But I'm just what is the point of that? This is weird. I don't get it. It's stupid. I did not understand.
I like the before and after. I think it's good. Like when he's getting healed up. I like that. But the scene itself, it's just weird. But mainly my problem is with the device. And I just don't really feel like I understand this device.
You're not supposed to understand anything in this film.
That'd be my criticism.
It's your one criticism?
No, there's another. I have one other criticism.
Oh, let's hear it.
When Buttercup pushes Wesley down the hill, and then he's like, oh, as you wish.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, oh shit, I know who this is. I feel like the delivery there, not the best.
You know what the worst part about that scene is?
That delivery.
The rolling down the hill. Why would you force yourself down the hill when you could just walk down the hill after him?
Well, you know you're gonna fall, right? So just embrace it. Get into the motion from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. That makes no sense. None at all.
I mean, that looked like a pretty steep hill.
You could walk down it.
But you also gotta be quick. You know what's faster than walking? Rolling.
We're gonna go find a nice hill, and I'm gonna push you down it.
Yeah, and it'll be like a little race.
No, I'm just gonna push you down it.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, you got any great things you need to add to this discussion? I have nothing but negativity to continue with here.
I don't believe you. I feel like you could find amazing things to talk about.
Yeah, amazingly negative
The
things.
blue sky.
The sky is not very blue where we're at right now.
But it was in the film.
It's nothing else.
I don't know. I like it. Like, basically, outside of the torture thing, I basically like the movie all the way through. I don't really think it's ever bad. I'm pretty much always smiling. I'm always having fun. I like all the characters.
That is the opposite experience of what I had.
It's a very nostalgic movie, to be fair. That could play into it.
I know adults who've watched this and love it. I don't know that it has to be nostalgic.
Well, I'm just saying that when I watch it, it brings me back. Because when I was watching it, right, I was the same age as this grandson or whatever.
And you were just as engaged. You were like,
yeah.
I was concerned for her safety.
Well, I wasn't really concerned, but, you know, I do like all the little knickknacks the kid has around his room. It's kind of neat.
His room's fine. He's a big sports fan. I got some He-Man figure over there.
Yeah, and like a Captain America or something. Little things. It's pretty cool.
That seemed like a kid's room. It was believable.
Good set. He's playing some baseball on...
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Old ridiculousness.
But I appreciated that.
Did you?
Baseball's a good sport. I feel like if you had a team of baseball players and they were all Andre the Giant, that would be the team.
Not really.
No, I mean, realistically, it'd be terrible, but like...
Andre can't move very well.
But if he hits the ball, I feel like it's gone.
Yeah, if he hits the ball, but all it takes is the fact that, like, he's not gonna be able to play very well, like, outfield status, like... Well, we really hope that you hit it to the player in and of himself, not to anybody else. Maybe they just get a really good Andre the Giant pitcher.
Yeah.
And he's a strikeout fiend over there.
He just perfect games every time.
Cause then, man, I don't know what you do after that. Because if they hit the ball, I feel like it's just going out of there.
I like to think he hits the ball and then the bat just explodes.
That's happened.
Yeah, it happened every time with this guy. They'd be getting a lot of Louisville Sluggers up in there.
Anyway, we're just meandering at this point. We don't have anywhere to be. You have anything else you want to add?
No, I'm sorry.
Well, it's been a pleasure. It would bring us a lot more pleasure if you have at us, right? You come over here, you tell me all about what's so great about this film. Why my opinions are all wrong. You can be in Josh's little camp, his little fan club over here. Like, yeah, he was right. He defended this film against the terrors of Nietzsche. That's what you could do. You leave some suggestions. You like, you comment, you subscribe. All the normal things. Share this. Follow us on social media. All those links are in the description. We'd appreciate it.
Now, of course, there's one important task.
Mm-hmm.
Pirates. They still exist. They're on the 7 seas. I need you to go find them and challenge them to a game of wits. Now, don't use poison. No, don't do that.
What do they gotta use here?
Just bring a gun.
Bring a gun? Is this like Russian roulette, or is this like a duel?
This is, you get them to think you're playing their game.
Uh-huh.
And then in the middle of the game, you just pull out the gun and you just take them out. That's it. You win.
Okay. Once you've taken over this ship, because you've, beat them in a battle of wits, you put a nice flag up, has our logo on it. You make sure you start spreading around that you got to this grand position of being a feared pirate lord. Because we told you to be there. And if we are ever out at sea, we know we'll get some safe passage. And I appreciate that.
That is good.
Enough with your dang nonsense over here. Just as bad as this film. Let's hear this ridiculous score.
I'm going to give this movie an 8.5.
I'm giving this a 3.5 out of 10.
Have at us.